pursuit there with the three of them. But of course, when all four units of this chasing group is now still have on their mind that they can actually win the race, they will all hold back just a little bit. And they don't go full gas like Anthony Perez does, because he's going 100%. And they all still have in the back of their mind, well, I can still win this bike race, so I might just save just a little bit, just in case we do catch him and I can sprint for the win.
And knowing what that finish is like, although it's a shorter climb, let's say, of the 1 kilometer, you still have those steep gradients that really bite. And when you've got tired legs and you're completely drained after such a difficult, demanding day of racing, you can really consider lose the race and completely collapse as soon as you start to open things up. So they still probably believe that they can try and take the win here, but at 55 seconds with 4.3 kilometers to go, Perez could be on to his first victory of the season.
Yeah, what a win that was. A win in a wind. Rui Costa, David Gaudu, Quinn Simmons and Bajoli. These are riders we'll all see back in Paris-Nice or Tirreno. Also, fantastic race by Corbin Strong and Alaphilippe. Yeah, he doesn't have it today. He gave everything he had yesterday and did a fantastic job, of course, coming away with his first win of the season. Look at that, 28 kilometers an hour going into the going into headwinds here. 3.8 kilometers to go for Anthony Perez. This is a chasing group. This is not the first chasing group. This is a group with Dorian Gaudon. These are the first chasers. They still don't have him in sight. These little twisty roads here are not really helping the chasers because they can't see him.
They really evade him, and it plays into the advantage of Anthony Perez, because whilst he's out of sight, he's certainly not out of mind, but it means that you've not got that motivation knowing that you are closing in on this lone leader who's out front. And a shake of the head from Julien Alaphilippe there as the motorbike rider just goes past and says, "You need anything?" "No, I'm fine. I'm just going to make my way to the finish."
He had a good weekend. Julien Alaphilippe was part of the winning move yesterday, was part of the winning move today, but then Anthony Perez went on a little bit of a adventure by himself. But Julien Alaphilippe only had a few race days before this weekend, only 3, so he will be confident going into Paris-Nice, Hannah. That starts next Sunday.
It'll be nice for him, won't it, if he can carry this confidence into Paris-Nice, knowing that he's got a victory under his belt. It always does so much for the confidence, the motivation, the morale of a rider, not just because, you know, physically you're in good shape, but mentally you've started the season off well. You've had good preparations during the winter. You've trained well. You've come in with that good form and try and carry that throughout the season. It's also contract year for Anthony Perez. His contract with Cofidis ends at the end of 2023, I believe. So he also needs to get some good victories, some good results under his belt.
Nice little array of vintage fire engines and new ones. Yeah, 55 seconds or something was on the board. He will be confident. Of course, he has his sports director in his ear as well, watching the live stream, knowing that the gap is reassuring.
And you can see just from his facial expressions how difficult this has been for Perez out front on his own.
How long will it take to actually warm up after this race?
A long time. I think a good bidon of tea and some honey will be well received at the finish line.
The chasers past our little collection of fire engines there. Of course, the peloton passed here no less than 3 times, so nice little bit of publicity there for the collector of historical vehicles of the fire department. Final 2 kilometers. He's really fighting. He's shaking left to right, trying to keep those pedals turning. That was what I wanted to say. He's almost in the village. He gets a little bit of respite from the wind there, but he still has to do that final climb. But even with a minute, I don't see him get to a complete standstill on that climb. Bar the bad luck factor, which I hope will not happen to Anthony Perez, he has really put on an impressive performance. And we said, Hannah, or I said, and I think you said as well, that those final 35, 40 kilometers will be a headwind. That's completely not a great idea if you want to go on the attack. But Anthony Perez, he had different ideas about our philosophy. I thought, well, hey, when you're saying that, I'm going to prove you wrong. And it's exactly what he does. It's fantastic to see.
It's almost an absurd idea that a rider would be able to hold off a chasing group behind into such a strong headwind, and he's, I think, defied us all and all the tactics in cycling that he has been able to do it, and alone he's been able to grow his lead over a chasing 4 riders at the moment. And 1,700 meters remaining, only a few turns. There's the one roundabout with around 800 meters to go. He'll take a left turn, take the right, and then he'll be really onto the steeper parts of that final climb, the Côte de Chaude.
It's really a moment to relish here for Anthony Perez. Like we discussed before, it doesn't happen to him quite often. He finds himself in breakaways. He's always the man at the front of the peloton working or being in that breakaway. But yeah, to finish it off, to be in a position to actually win a race, it's not something that happens all that much. He won one bike race last year, the Classic Loire-Atlantique, and he's on his way to his first win of the season, which is nice because it's the 26th of February and it's a lot sooner than his win last year. This will give him a lot of confidence. It will make his team manager and his team happy. And just like he said, the main sponsor is waiting at the finish line as well.
He is. He's been there this morning, so I think also that great motivation when you've got the CEO of your main title sponsor of Cofidis and Crédit Mutuel, Daniel Ball, at the finish line awaiting you. This is a big moment also for Cofidis. This is what they want to do. They want to show their team, their sponsors, they want to be winning the races. And as you said before, Jose, it's often that we always see this man in breakaways in Paris-Nice, the Tour de France, but today it's going to be his day to shine. Only 800 meters remain. It's been quite an incredible performance from Anthony Perez. 31 years of age.
3 victories so far for Cofidis this year. Brian Coca got his first World Tour win all the way back in January in the Tour Down Under. Simone Consoni won a bunch sprint in the Saudi Tour, and Jesus Herrera won a stage in the Tour of Oman. So a pretty solid start to the season for the team from the north of France. They've been here forever. They have been around for 2 decades, Team Cofidis, and he knows that he has won this bike race, only the 6th win of his career, his 6th professional win, and the grimace is becoming a smile. That is great to see. This is absolutely top work by Anthony Perez, the 31-year-old from Toulouse, which is in the south of France, but all the way, well, down to the south. But he's not racing that far from home. He could take the car, drive back home and celebrate the champagne with dinner tonight. The applause is for him. It's another French winner here on the double-header weekend in France. Yesterday, a fantastic victory by Julian Alaphilippe in a 2-man sprint against David Gaudu. And today, it's a magnificent solo victory for Anthony Perez. The final few hundred meters to go for this man, a trusty domestique. He started his career with this team and he now rewards them with another victory. Absolutely stellar work there by Anthony Perez. 150 meters to go. The climbing is done. The smile is there. What a fantastic win for this man. Look at that. This is what we want to see. Maybe not the one rider we expected, but absolutely I am full of admiration for what he'd done here. A 40-kilometer solo into a headwind and a win for Anthony Perez. Bravo. Absolutely fantastic work here by this French rider.
Superb work there from Anthony Perez. What a stellar job. You see the beaming smile on his face of just how much this means to the 31-year-old Frenchman. And this is going to be the battle for second and third. 2 are going to miss out here. Baggioli, the winner from 2021. On the left-hand side at the moment, David Gaudu second yesterday. Can he try and salvage something and finish on the podium?
It will be 2 out of 2 for Gaudu, but of course not that win. We'll have to wait until Paris-Nice. The attack comes from Baggioli until the final 200 meters of the climb. Baggioli wants to get onto that podium. Quinn Simmons as well. Rui Costa is also moving to the front. It's a nice little sprint there from the chasing group of 4, with second place there going to Baggioli. Well, we're not there yet. I thought the finish line was there. Rui Costa might actually still take it, but yeah, from this point, I can't see it. It's actually Rui Costa taking second, with Baggioli in third, Gaudu in fourth, and Quinn Simmons in fifth place. A little bit of a
opening up early there.
Schelmoser in sixth place. Georg Zimmermann